looking to skyrocket your character's level in Elden Ring without actually doing much, well for that you're gonna need some runes, but lucky for you, I'm gonna show you how to get just that. So before we go any further, I just want to say that if you haven't defeated Godrick by now, then you're going to need to do that before going ahead with this video. But other than that, you'll be able to get 500k runes just by cheesing a later game boss, and then after I show you how to do that in that same area, you can get at least 2 million runes an hour by pairing it with the golden scarab talisman and a gold pickled fowlfoot. So let's get straight into it. After you've defeated Godrick at Stormvale Castle and you've travelled to the Round Table and spoke to the Two-Finger Lady, then you will be able to travel back to the first step, which is one of the first sites of grace you will come across in Elden Ring. This is where you met white-faced Varre for the first time, where he just mocked you for being maidenless, but if you go back there, after defeating Godrick, you'll notice that he's not there anymore. Instead, he's left a note for you to read, and it says that he's moved on and he's gone to Luania and he's headed to the Rose Church, so you need to go there too. Basically, the easiest way that I've found to find this if you're struggling is head into the middle of the swamp and you'll find a site of grace called the Academy Gate Town. From this site of grace, it is literally due west. Keep heading there and you'll see a small rock in the middle of the swamp with the church on it, and outside the front of that church you will find white-faced Varre, and you can speak to him, and he'll basically tell you his true motive, and he'll say that he's a bit of a bad boy and he praises some sort of god that likes bullying other boys. And through the dialogue he'll basically say, what do you think of the two fingers? And you'll get two options. You'll get an option to say that you weren't convinced or that they were magnificent. You need to pick the one that says you weren't too convinced, and then from there you'll be able to continue his dialogue and he'll give you a gift in the form of 5 festering bloody fingers. Now these are a multiplayer tool that allow you to invade other people's worlds and PvP with them. You're going to need to do this 3 times. He's given you 5 fingers, but you only need to do this 3 times. So what you're going to want to do is go onto the map and you can actually press the button that says show multiplayer status, and this will show you where nearby people are by the form of blue and red circular rings around sites of graces. You're going to want to travel to one of these locations and put down your finger there, otherwise you'll just be putting fingers down in random locations and it'll just say attempting to invade world and you won't actually find anyone. So you're going to need to go to places that actually have a large amount of traffic. So those icons on your map are going to be your best bet. Just travel to those locations, put down your finger and invade someone else's world. Now once you invade them, you don't need to win. You can lose the battle, you can win the battle, you can run away, they can run away. It doesn't matter as long as you've used 3 of the 5 fingers at least. After you've done that, you can go back to Whiteface Varre and continue the dialogue. Once you go back and talk to him, he says that he knows that you have a taste for noble blood and he loves it. He gets a bit off on it, and then he'll say that he wants to make you a proper inductee to serve Luminary Mohg, the Lord of Blood. After he finishes preaching about his cult, you'll see 2 dialogue options that you can pick from. You're going to want to pick the one that says anoint me. Directly after he anoints you, you're going to be given another item. This item is the Lord of Blood's Favour, and it's basically a piece of cloth that you're going to need to soak in a maiden's blood. To do this, you're going to want to travel to the Church of Inhibition, which is right below the Lift of Dectus, so it's quite high up on the map. If you haven't been here before, then you can travel to the Lift of Dectus and go up behind through the pathway around past a bunch of madmen and a tower that actually spews out madness, so be careful of that. And then you head through the small town of mad people and then you go up to the Church of Inhibition. Once you're there, you will see a lady lying there on a chair. She's already dead, you don't need to kill her, and all you need to do is examine her body and it will soak that cloth in a maiden's blood. Once you've done that, you can go all the way back to Varre and you can speak to him again. He's going to call you lambkin a bunch of times and then say, oh, do you know what, I'm going to cut off your finger now. So you're going to need to offer your own finger to your boy, and then he'll cut off your finger and talk to you a bit more and then offer you something that you're actually going to need, which is called the Pure Blood Knight's Medal. This basically allows you to travel to where Luminary Mohg is, and that is the boss that we are going to kill and cheese for the goodness of runes. So once you've got it, he'll basically say, don't use it yet, the time's not right. You're not going to listen to him, and you're going to use that item anyway. And it'll travel you to a location called Mohgwyn's Palace. you're going to want to, from here, travel all the way through to where Luminary Mohg sits. So you want to go up the stairs straight ahead of you and you'll see a dead body. You're going to want to loot that body because that has the map of this area on it. And then from there, go up the stairs a little more and you can attach yourself to a site of grace. And once you've searched that, that could be your respawn point, and you're going to want to head all the way through past a bunch of skeletons and all the way up these stairs. These skeletons do kill themselves, so you can get some runes just from them, and you're going to want to run all the way around to the right until you see a door that goes inside a cave. Once you're inside this cave, it does get a little dark, so having a lantern will help. You're going to want to go all the way through, and then you'll get a path that splits into two directions. Take the left path here, and then up the hill, and then take the right path and you'll be entered into a room with a load of gravestones and stuff like that. You'll see a Lord's rune, which gives you a bunch of runes as well, which is great. Go up the stairs to the left hand side and keep running around all the way to the right until you can see the light out of the cave, and you're going to want to run all the way through out of the cave and you'll see another site of grace. You're basically at the boss at this point, so what you're going to want to do is activate that lost grace site. And once you're there, you can rest it if you've taken damage and you need to heal, but you're going to want to go up the stairs from there and you'll see a bunch of boys praying. Ignore them and go behind them and you'll see a lift. What you're going to want to do is just stand on that lift and it'll take you up to where the boss is. Now you are going to need to die the first time you encounter this boss because you need to make the mist actually spawn in. At the moment there's no mist to actually get into the boss location, so you're going to want to travel straight in and you'll get a cutscene, and then after that you can let the boss kill you because he is a hard one. And then after you've died, you're going to want to spawn at that grace site that you rested at just now and travel up the lift again. Before you go up the lift, you're going to need to pull the lever to bring the lift back down and then travel up. And you'll see that now there is a mist that you need to traverse to get into the boss area. We're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to go to the right hand side of this lift and strip off naked, so we are really light and we can jump further. Once you're naked, you'll be able to jump on these tombstones till you get to the tallest one. From there, look to your right and you'll see a small wall with a crack in it on the right hand side. On that crack area is where you're going to need to jump, because you're basically going to be jumping over and around the mist, so the mist doesn't activate the boss fight, but the boss still spawns in. So what you're going to need to do is jump across there, but if you normally jump, you won't actually be able to reach it. So instead, you're going to want to jump in place, so don't move any direction, jump while you're on top of this tallest tombstone, and then hold B or your sprint button at the same time. From there, keep holding B, and as soon as you land, sprint and jump towards that wall with the crack in it, and jump towards the lowest point where it is cracked. And after a few tries you should get there. It's not the most intuitive and fun thing to do, but once you get around it you can actually jump down into the boss location and you'll see that the boss has spawned, but he doesn't actually do anything to you. You can put all your armor on and put your weapons back to how you want it to be, and you can attack him, but he won't actually damage you. He'll just stand there and take it like a man. So just destroy him, and as long as you have the golden scarab talisman and the gold pickled foul feet, and if you don't then you can watch this video on screen now and in the description to show you how to get those, you will be able to get a good amount of runes from doing this. As you can see, my starting rune count is 2076. After I defeat this guy, you'll see it goes up by 655,200 runes. If you don't have a gold pickled foul feet active, it'll give you 500,000. If you don't have either the gold scarab talisman or the foul foot, then you'll get about 420,000. A lot of runes nevertheless, and it took me up from 80 to 95 in terms of levels. And if you are a lower level, because you don't really have to do anything in terms of fighting this boss because he doesn't attack you back, it's an easy kill and it can easily push you through those early levels no problem. From here you can activate the site of grace called the Cocoon of the Empyrean if you want to, but what you're going to want to do is fast travel to the first site of grace that we found. From here you're going to want to go all the way back past the guy that had the map on him and then get on Torrent and basically run all the way around this area towards the right hand side. You'll see a Scarlet Rot Lake, and what you're going to want to do is run all the way over that with Torrent and head up a hill. You're going to be passing quite a few enemies, but once you get up that hill, you'll see another Site of Grace. This Site of Grace is called the Palace Approach Ledge Road, and that is where you're going to want to be to start farming some serious runes. Once you're at this Site of Grace, you're actually going to want to head towards the ledge and look down towards that Scarlet Rot Lake below you. You'll see a massive bird walking about up and down. What you're going to want to do is get something with range, either a crossbow or a bow and arrow, and you're going to want to shoot this guy. And you can only shoot him once, that's all you need to do, and you'll notice it won't do hardly any damage. But once you shoot this bird, it will run towards you. Even though it can't get to you because there is a massive hole in the floor which he'll fall down to his death, and just like that, he does fall down to his death. Just with the Golden Scarab Talisman active, you get 13,000 runes just from him dying, and if you have the Golden Foulfoot as well, you'll get 17,000 runes every 20 or so seconds. And after he falls off, of course you can just reset him spawning by going to the Site of Grace, resting at it, and then instantly getting back up. After 30 minutes of me using 10 of the Golden Pickled Foul Feet that I had on me and the Gold Scarab Talisman, I made 1.2 million runes just from 30 minutes of doing this. So even without these items, you get 10,000 runes per kill, and it takes literally seconds to do. Just don't hit the tree with your arrows. And of course you're going to need some arrows or bolts from doing this, but you can buy them pretty much all over the place, or you can craft them if you've got a bow and arrow. So you just need to aim. Once you've two-handed your bow and arrow or crossbow, shoot him and he will fall off no problem. And that is probably the most efficient way to farm runes right now. And of course you do need to defeat Godrick to do all this, but combining the boss fight with this 2 million rune or more per hour, you're gonna be getting through those levels really quickly. But that's it, that's this video. But let me know if you want to see more down below in the comments, and of course comment if you know any better locations that you can share with the community also. Thank you so much for watching, I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.